Gentlemen, welcome back to the Flight 96 podcast. I'm your host, Hunter Foreman, and today is another great and wisdom filled episode. So please put your thinking caps on for this one because there's going to be a lot of jewels. There's going to be a lot of educated talking in this. This is going to be a lot of grown folk talk, basically. Um, the person that I have that has decided to grace us with their presence on the 90th episode of Flight 96, episode 90, is somebody that I met through the battle rap culture, which we'll get to how that came about uh, here as after the introduction, and someone who has not only just became somebody I can like speak battle rap with, but most importantly, somebody I actually call a friend and somebody that I actually call a homie. And if this person ever needed anything, I would be there for them, and vice versa. And she has taught me a bunch of stuff about astrology that we're gonna get into. Has given me some of the best advice I've heard in quite a long time. I don't know how I would definitely introduce her. I don't want to introduce her by her Twitter name because that sounds real 2020. So I'm going to just call her Brianna. And Brianna, thank you for coming on the program.
Of course. Honestly, you call me whatever you want. I feel like people know me from my Instagram handle anyway. Like, I don't think, like, nobody really knows me, so
Yeah,
that's all they call me. They call me Bree or just my Instagram name. So,
exactly. And we met each other actually through Twitter, if I'm not mistaken. If it was through Twitter.
Was it Twitter or Instagram?
I think it was a mixture of both. It was a mixture of both.
Probably, yeah, a mixture of both. I
We
think I
can
first saw you on Instagram.
Yes. So we can let's do this. I met Bree, as she will be known from henceforth, um, through social media because we were fans of battle rap, and I would like to thank a specific battle rapper by the name of G-Lo for making for that interaction to happen, allowing that interaction to happen, because that we're both, it's like a mutual friend thing. It was a mutual friend thing. She figured out, like I figured out that she was really cool with G-Lo, and then and then she figured out that it was the same over here. So, and ever since then, it's always been very spiritual conversations. We want to know how, like, yo, man, like not on like no meditative thing, but like, and this isn't word for word, just like, yo, what's your soul like? How's your soul feeling today? You know what I'm saying? Like, um, it's astrology readings. She helped me figure out my entire chart. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's anything that I got from and that I can thank G-Lu for, is that now I have a new friend. I have somebody who I can call a friend, and Bree definitely knows what she's talking about when she talks about astrology, and is somebody that I immediately go to whenever you know Scorpio season comes around, or what's, you know what I'm saying, or when whether my moons or are about to line up, and all of the everything lines up in one, and what that's supposed to mean, and what my house is, and what my third and fourth house is. Like, it's nice because I can talk as eloquently as I can, and the energy will be reciprocated. You know what I'm saying? Like, we both can talk very very smart because we're both very two intelligent people. I like to think, So, and but I want to start with this astrology business. I want to know where you started to really be interested in this, and why you continue to do that.
I didn't even think about that being a question because I don't remember where this started. Like, obviously, everyone knows the basics, you know, astrology or zodiac signs or whatever, which majority of the time, like 98% of the time, people be wrong. So, what made me want to find the facts, I can't remember. I really wish I remember, but I can't remember what happened that made me want to look into that. I feel like it was maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, probably. I think I was going through some shit because I'm always going through some shit. So I think I was going through something.
Let's open up that can of worms.
And I think that kind of because it triggered like just my spiritual path in general. So I think once I got into that is what led to me finding out more about astrology. So as far as what made me like want to stay with it, it was just stuff I was finding out. Like, people don't understand astrology is not basic. Like, it's not something you can just look up and say, oh, I'm a Gemini. I'm just looking for Gemini shit. Like, it's way more than that. So
it's a lot deep. It's a lot deeper.
Exactly. Like, and once I realized that and I saw how much stuff was making sense, I think I just wanted to find out more. Like, I'm driven by knowledge. So once I find out a piece of something, I need more because I got to understand it as a whole. Like, that's always my goal, is to understand something as a whole, because I don't want to have a conversation about something that I really don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives me more to talk about. So I think that's probably what made me want to keep, finding out more things. I'm still learning. Like, it's been years. It's so much to it. And that's why it sucks that it has such a bad name, because, it's people are looking at these super generalized posts and stuff on social media. I'm not saying social media doesn't have people who are giving you the right information, because social media does. A lot of places or accounts, people who really do study astrology or are actual astrologers, they give you the right information. But when you look at these posts from whoever that's talking about their experience with a Gemini and saying Geminis are horrible, it's like you're coming from a place of what you experienced. You're not coming from a place of what's real. So, I just wish people would give it a chance to actually look into it. I'm not telling you gotta believe it. You don't gotta do shit. You don't gotta do anything I say.
Facts.
But at least if you're gonna have an opinion, don't make it an ignorant opinion. Like, and don't make it an opinion where you're not okay with looking into it more. Because then it's like, how much weight does your opinion really hold at that point? So. And
that's something that, that comes from.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Damn. We good.
It's okay.
We good.
We're good.
But
might just hold it.
So that's something that I think, goes hand in hand and can be said the same for battle rap, because it's very it's an opinionated culture. It's based on who you may think that a certain battler won, while I may think different. You know what I'm saying? There's people and this is shout out to Young Sir. He thinks JC beat Twerk.
And I think that is monstrosity.
And that's your opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's your opinion. You may think no, and I agree with your opinion, because I think Twerk beat JC.
Right.
Clear as day. But it's just the fact that I can have that back and forth with somebody is what makes this culture so great. We can sit there. You can be in chat rooms full of hundreds of people, and you can talk about, yo, man, if you really think about it, Hitman beats Surf. And then everybody can jump him and be like, no, Surf won clear 3-0. Just the back and forth and the debate, I think, is so cool. And I just want to get a quick couple favorites from you. Who are your favorite battle rappers, as of right now?
It's crazy. My favorites never change. I've had the same favorites for a long time now, for like 2 years. No particular order. Okay. I'm not even going to do that to myself. My favorite
Okay.
Nitty.
Okay.
Trez.
Romnitty. Chef Trez.
Damn, JC.
JC. Okay.
I'm having a brain fart. Dang. Did I say O-Red?
Who?
Did I say O-Red?
No, you did not say O-Red.
Tay-Rock.
Okay.
I feel like I'm missing somebody. Those are like my favorite of like the bigger names. But I feel like I'm missing somebody. I can't put my finger on who it is.
You can't forget our boy G-Lo.
Right. Oh, the thing is, I'm not saying G-Lo's not a bigger name because he's clearly known. He's been on URL.
Facts.
But if you were to ask anybody else, he still has some work to do.
Yes.
I feel like he's good. Like
I do too.
Like,
I do too.
But I think that everyone else has a different opinion on G-Lo. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what more they want this man to do. Like,
Facts. No, facts.
but out of the people that people think are the big names, those are my favorite people.
Okay. And what draws you to battle rap? Because I mean, of course, everybody has their own way of liking it. But what drew you when you decided to start watching it and start following it?
Well, okay, so there's a story behind how I even got to where I am now with battle rap. So
story time.
I was like, I want to say I was like 9 or 10 probably.
Okay.
I have an older brother, and he watched battle rap.
Okay.
My family is musically inclined in general, so he watched a lot of different styles, I guess, of music or different expressions of music, and battle rap just happened to be one of them. We had this computer that was in the kitchen, so everyone could see what you were watching, and I just happened to be around you watching battle rap, and he will always make me watch it with him. So I just got interested in it off of that, and then for some years I wasn't watching it. And then I feel like this is like an embarrassing part of it. I was watching Wildin' Out and I saw Conceited, right?
Yeah.
At the time, I did not know who Conceited was.
Okay.
Now, low key, I've seen an older Conceited battle. I just did not know that was the same person. I found out later on, but I didn't know who he was at the time. So I'm like, is this like a real battle rapper? Like, does he really rap, or is this just like, are they calling him a battle rapper? Like,
yeah.
So I looked him up and I saw, oh, he really battles, and that's what got me back into watching it heavy. Now I was watching Queen of the Ring before when Miss Kathy Couture went viral.
Okay.
And I was only watching Queen of the Ring, but as far as male battle rap, that's how I got to watching battle rap consistently from that point.
Okay, to piggyback off of the female battle rap mention, what is your take on this Sweet 16 tournament that's going on for Queen of the Ring?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't pay female battle rap attention anymore.
Yikes!
Not because I don't like female battle rap. It's not a gender thing where it's like, oh, women can't do that. Like, it's not that. It's just I'm not excited by enough of them to
expand on that. What do you mean by like you're not like this? Does when you see a female battle, does it not give you the same excitement as a male battle?
Pretty much, like.
That's not good. I don't like that perception. To be completely honest, I don't like that perception. Because me, like I think like when it comes to name value, whether it be like a Misfit or Official, like I jump at those battles just like I would jump at a Nitty or Twerk battle.
See, but the names you mentioned are different. It's like it's not that I think the newer girls are bad. I just think the ones that like the best, they just have a thing about them. I haven't found a lot of the newer girls that I feel like have a thing about them that makes me want to watch them.
Okay,
Same
okay, that
thing
makes
with
sense.
like
That makes sense.
male battle rappers that I think or that I know are good, but they don't do it for me to make me want to watch them. Like it's the
Okay,
same
so you're
idea.
not bought on the product, basically. You're not sold on the
Yeah, it's
brand.
just
Okay, I see what you're saying, and it's nothing. And that's just sometimes. And sometimes you just chalk it up to being like that's just not for me. That's sometimes what it
pretty
is,
much.
and that's what I think. And when you could say the same for music. You know what I'm saying? Like you could say the same thing for certain artists in the game, whether it be rappers, or just musicians, because according to nowadays, people would say, "Oh, I'm not a rapper. I'm a rock star." Okay, wait. You make rap sounding music, but you're not a rap. See, that's where I get confused a little bit. When you get to battle rap, you are a rapper. Period.
Yeah.
You're not in. I mean, people say like Bill Collector says he's an entertainer. No. We're rappers. The bars are what sell you. There is a
Well,
okay counterpoint.
You're right.
Counterpoint.
You're right. The bars do sell, but the entertainment sells too. It's like you can't have bars and that's it. It's just not going to work when you're on a stage and you're performing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just come with bars, but you don't have anything under those bars. It's like if you don't have the right delivery for your bars don't hold weight. It doesn't really mean much because you don't even know how to deliver your own bars. We're not gonna feel it. So you have to have more.
Case in point, Rum Nitty.
He performs.
Well, not at first. The first listen. Let me because I'm a huge Rum fan. He went from what did he get known for right out the gate? Punchlines. That falls under the bar category.
Right.
When it took him a little while to develop his performance. Now, if you watch, he's been on the main stage, but he didn't do as well. I mean, the JC battle for example, when Rum battled JC, that wasn't the Rum that we're seeing now, who goes in front of 2,000 people on T-top and does the walk up on top, popping, breaking two. Like he doesn't do that. Back then, he didn't do that. We knew the bars were there. We just wanted to see what else he can bring to the table. The reason why Twerk right now is always going to be so popular is because he came out the gate with that. With where the bars and the performance were on a high level and at the same level.
That's true. But again, delivery is more than just
yes, absolutely.
Sitting your bar. So when you didn't have delivery, you just had bars. You probably wouldn't have got the same outcome, or what's the word? Like they probably wouldn't have had the same path,
like trajectory or something like that.
Yeah, or like they wouldn't have been noticed the same way.
Yes, like
if they didn't have a certain component that came with their bars. So bars alone,
yeah,
I don't think is enough.
It gets you somewhere.
It definitely gets you somewhere, but it's almost like, who can I compare it to? It's gonna be a very loose comparison.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think I can help you with this because I think I know where you're going. Like, and I don't like to do this, but DaBaby. DaBaby is a good comparison. He can rap, but he only raps to one beat. He needs to do different. What you need to be able to do different types of styles. You need to be able to talk that soulful, sample, cutting up stuff because that's what hip hop is about. You should be able to go on Flex and freestyle and give us good bars. We don't want to hear the same beat over and over again and hear you talk about the same things over and over again. We get it. You can do that very well. But give us something with a little bit of substance. Give us something with a little bit of, something that we can relate to, something that we can feel. You're saying that yes, bars are very important, but give us something a little bit more than that. Do something a little different. Give us a little bit. Give us bars, but how you personally would want to deliver them.
Yeah.
Give us your own. Tell us. Show us who you are. Show us who you are.
Exactly. What makes your bars like your bars?
Yes.
Like, why should I look at you spitting these kind of bars, and somebody else could probably spit these bars too and deliver better than you? I'm gonna watch them. I'm not gonna watch you. So
Yeah.
It's you're right. It's like, yeah, they're rappers at the end of the day, but I think they become those performers, and they become
yes, absolutely.
Acts and stuff. So
Hitman was a bar guy before he became a performer.
yeah,
Street Status when he had the braids. He was barring dudes. He didn't have that. He didn't do performance until Hitman got on the stage. He was a rapper. He was a rapper's rapper.
that's a wild visual, like Hitman and braids, like.
Listen. You know what's a crazy visual right now? Think about this. Verb went from waves to dreadlocks. That's weird to look. Like,
I think he looks better that way. I don't know. Like, maybe it's because he was kind of chunkier when he had the waves too. Like, I just feel like he just looked healthier.
Averb to me, right, did the literal ultimate like transformation from like old old Verb, like vegan Verb and old Verb look completely different.
That's true.
So like, you know, when rappers talk about like, yo man, this red hoodie dot, or this is, yo, we need gray hoodie Lux, you know what I'm saying? Or we need hoodie twerk. We don't need backwards cap twerk. We need hoodie twerk. Like, people could say like, yo man, I remember when old Verb like was rapping, you know, was battling Disaster in Atlanta with a Red Bulls jacket on with a box fade. And then you could say, man, I remember when he was battling Geechee Gotti with the dread swinging and the St. Louis Cardinals stuff. Like, it's so that's another thing like I want to like talk about when it comes to like just battle rap, and not just battle rap, but like anything. Like hip hop, you can create like a alter ego of yourself within your brand.
Right.
Like let's like Kanye West is a perfect example. You have the Pharaoh God, gold loving, my beautiful dark twisted fantasy Kanye, and then you have the outspoken, controversial when it comes, you know, when it comes to his later albums like The Life of Pablo and Ye and Jesus is King. You know what I'm saying? Like there's different like Lil Wayne when he used to when he was with the Hot Boys. Like, that's a different bag than he was when he, you know, started Young Money. And that's a different Lil Wayne than what he's doing now. Like, people are able to create these. That's why I love hip hop, and like why like the creativity of it is like you can create these alter egos of yourself like Logic used to do. Like he was Young Sinatra, Bobby Tarantino, two different types of music that he was making. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Logic, and then you have this version, and then you have that version. I want to ask, like, what is your kind of like, if you recollect any of these, like, what's your favorite kind of like alter ego kind of thing in anything, like, of someone? It was gonna get deep. I told you.
These are good questions. I never thought about that. Who has an alter ego that I listen to? Like I pay attention to.
Yeah.
Only person comes to my mind is Beyonce. I can't think of nobody else.
Beyonce, when she's like, when she's Sasha Fierce.
Yeah, I can't think of nobody. Who else has an alter ego?
Think about, no one's ever really thought about that. You know, because Wu-Tang really kind of started that shit. You had Ghostface Killah as Tony Starks. You had Raekwon as the chef. You had Jizza as the genius. You had RZA, Bobby Digital, Bobby Stills. You had all these people that are creating these alter egos for themselves. Yet, you got J. Cole as Kill Edward.
Why have I never heard of that?
What do you mean?
I never heard of J. Cole having a alter ego.
You don't remember KOD when he had the song, I know heaven is a mind state. I've been a couple times. Stuck in my ways, so I keep on falling down.
Yeah.
That's Kill, and it says feature.
That name doesn't ring a bell.
Because it says friends, and it says featuring Kill Edward, and Kill Edward is just a version of J. Cole, where his pitch of his voice is heightened.
That's like Kendrick.
Kendrick doesn't really do that.
He definitely doesn't. If you listen to like the whole damn album, he does it in mad songs, but he just doesn't have a name for it. He just does it.
Yeah, high pitch. There's high pitch Kenny. There's one that doesn't get necessarily a whole lot of attention because it's only been done a couple times. But rapping Frank Ocean, when Frank Ocean actually raps, like it's insane. I want a 10-track album of Frank Ocean rapping. That would be tight. I think I would listen to that. I would definitely. And then you have rest in peace Mac Miller, first things first, but he had Larry Fisherman, Larry Lovestein, Delusional Thomas. Delusional Thomas was him rapping, but it was a high pitched voice. You had Larry Fisherman, which was his producer pseudonym. When you get a beat from Mac Miller, it's not produced by Mac Miller, it's produced by Larry Fisherman. And you have Larry Lovestein, which was his jazz and R&B side. You know what I'm saying? You have you have Nicki. You have Nicki when she sings, and then Nicki when she raps.
Nicki and Roman. Whoever that crazy person is.
Roman.
Yes,
yeah, Roman. Or I thought it was like some. I thought she named it like something else. I thought she was named something else.
She was like Nicki Lewinsky. That's like the freak ass Nicki, and then
you have and then
going crazy or whatever.
And you have all these you have Jay-Z. You have Jay-Z with the dreads, who's rapping about loving his family and talking about in Family Feud which is my. Can we first of all 444?
It's self-aware Jay-Z.
That self-aware Jay-Z is the one where he's got the dreads with the bandana on, and he's got the suit, and he's rapping with Jay Electronica about Farrakhan and all these, and telling people don't post up a picture when I die. You know what I'm saying? Like don't get clout off my name or anything like that. And then you have old Jay-Z where he's doing songs with Linkin Park and in the studio with Rick Rubin in some type of weird temple where they're meditating and doing all these. And I can go back to when he did a little bit cocky Jay-Z when he was doing music with Kanye on Watch the Throne. Like, you have all these different types of eras that we go through as we watch these musicians. Like Wiz Khalifa is another perfect example. You have Cushion Orange Juice Wiz when he was just figuring out who he was, and then he struck gold with that's arguably the best free piece of music that you can find. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the best mixtapes of all time. You have Mixtape Wayne. Which is a different bag than Album Wayne. Album Wayne's making songs with Adam Levine and Doja Cat and Jack Harlow. Mixtape Weezy's doing songs with Gutta Gutta, L.A. the Dark Man, trading back and forth verses with King Los, Jay Mills when they were all signed to Young Money.
It's a commercial Wayne versus Wayne.
And then there's
Wayne that we know.
Yes, and then there's R&B Drake, and then there's rapping Drake. There's Take Care Drake, and then there's Nothing Was the Same Drake. Those are two different people.
Right.
They were going through two different. That's why I think, like, you know, kind of like this kind of ties in with the astrology and kind of just self-awareness of being, because that's what people, that's what me and Bree mostly talk about, is just kind of like perspectives and how we look at things at life, and how we sit there and we can, you know, think of a bunch of scenarios that could possibly happen in a situation, and then just realizing that it doesn't matter what happens as long as you know what you're doing is right. You know, when you do that, there's a bunch of different types of variables when it comes to that. Like there's like the version of you is completely different from what your version was 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You can.
You're reborn.
Yes.
Several times throughout life.
Yes. So and that's something that I think people kind of need to understand. But when, as a person who wants to get and wants to learn more about astrology, what is the first thing that someone needs to realize? If they want to get in tune with themselves as much as possible, right? What's the first thing they got to do?
I kind of touched on it earlier. Understanding that probably what you know now, what you think now is not true.
Yes.
People don't like to be wrong. So when they're challenged and they feel like, shit, I can be proven wrong, it's an automatic defense. When you're not supposed to be defensive, it's like, if I'm telling you, like, I understand, but that's not right, figure out what's right. Second thing I would say is understand that astrology, zodiac signs, all that kind of shit is not an excuse for the way that you are. It's a tool to understand who you are.
Say it again. Say it again.
A lot of people complain about that. You know, I see a lot of stuff where it's like, oh, somebody will manipulate you and do this, and that, and they'll just blame it on the zodiac sign. Like, people do that. It's just the wrong way to go about it. It's not for you to use that as an excuse. It's for you to use that as a tool for you to understand why your life manifested the way it did, and you use it throughout your life to be able to create the life you're supposed to have. Like, make it a better one than just to kind of be raw dogging it through life. And you have a tool to kind of,
I still like how you said raw dogging it.
raw dogging it. It's like you're going through life, and it's like you're going through it with no knowledge or no thirst for knowledge, or you're not taking the time to learn anything. You're raw dogging this whole thing. It's cool to raw dog some shit.
Hold, yo, hey, yo.
I wasn't even talking like that.
Hey, yo,
It's
dog.
cool to go with the flow with some shit. That's what
I just don't like how you're saying raw dog, though.
It is. He was going through it without guidance. Just doing shit.
Without guidance, I'm done.
You can't go through life with no guidance.
That's facts. That's facts. You have to.
So-
I feel like if even if it's, I will say this: everybody on this planet has a mission or a plan that plays some sort of part. They play a part. They have a. We are a kind of like a metaphorical puzzle piece to this thing that it's called life, and it's up to us to play our part and know, but also not settling for less. Go for the fucking moon. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. Seriously.
That's fact.
And once you get to the moon, keep going. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't look back. Just go. I talked about this on episode 89, which was previous with Ania Philo, who's a personal trainer out of California. Please go check that episode out. We talked about, before we ended the podcast, that you just have to just go. Like, you just have to just, like, get up and do it. Instead of talking and talking and talking about it and just speaking about it, just sometimes you just look in the mirror and you say, man, I'm going to do this. I've been talking about this for months. I've been talking about doing this, you know, whether it's I wanted to, you know, whether it's as little as I wanted to clean my room or I wanted to buy a car. You know what I'm saying? just get up and do it. It might be scary. It might be something that you don't know what to do, and you're going to be walking, through it and be like, man, I'm a little nervous about this. I don't know how to go about this. Go for it. Go for it. Just go for it. I promise you, you will not regret it, because if you sit there and don't go for it and wait for another opportunity where it's safer to go, you're going to be sitting there saying, what if? What if? And nobody wants to be a what if person.
You're never supposed to go safe. The time where you're the most uncomfortable is where the growth starts. You're never supposed to be safe.
And that's crazy because, a couple months ago, when this, coronavirus stuff happened, it hit everybody bad, but I felt like it hit me kind of, you know what I'm saying, a little harder. And it was not a good couple of months. And for me to be where I'm at right now and looking back and saying, man, I went through that. If I can go through that, I can do anything. If I can get through any hardship, if you can get through any hardship in life, no matter how hard it is, if you can get through it alive on the other side, breathing and waking up to see another day, you are going to be fine. You're going to be fine. I promise you. You're going to be you're gonna be even stronger, because now you know what to do and know how to bob and weave and run right through. It's life is like Temple Run, man. You just gotta know when to jump. You gotta know when to move. You gotta know when to.
Everything is. The issue is the fear of the unknown. People always want the answers.
Yes, talk about it.
You're not supposed to know everything. You're not supposed to know until you do it. So.
Facts.
You gotta drop that. Just do something and not know what the fuck is gonna happen. Just go for it, and then you'll see. Either you're gonna fall on your face or you're not. If you fall on your face, then you know what not to do next time. That's it. But people be too scared to do stuff that they're not used to doing, and that's why they're stagnant. How do you grow in being in a constant path? No path is just straight. Nobody's life is gonna be straight. There's gonna be bumps, there's gonna be turns and curves. You gotta ride with it.
You just have to stay. You just gotta keep going. You gotta. When you get hit, you just gotta get up and keep moving. You can't sit, because if you sit there and wallow damn, I just got hit. Oh no, my eye hurts. Nah, you gotta be this hurts right now, but I can't let this mess me up. I have to keep moving forward. It's like the Terminator. You can get hit with a bullet and take it. You just gotta keep finding that strength to just get up and just go and just keep moving. Because the more you sit there and you wallow and you keep thinking about what if, the more time passes you by, and then the next thing you know, you're about 45, 50, and you really haven't done much with your life. And that's a sad place that I don't want to see anybody in.
Right.
It's sad.
It's full of disappointments. You're going to have to deal with the disappointments as they come. And learn from whatever you go through. Just don't do the same thing that you did last time. When you keep doing the same thing you did last time, you're going to get the same result. I feel like that's without saying.
It's the definition of insanity.
Exactly. They're used to being comfortable. They don't want to be in a place where they don't know. And it's you gotta go there. You gotta go there if there's going to be a chance for growth. You don't grow in the same box.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
And it's not, and you're not, you're not weak. You're not, a wuss or anything like that if you ask for help.
Yeah, that pride shit is tough. People I can't even say that on myself. I'm somebody that has been told all my life how smart I am and shit like that. That's a good and bad thing, because think about it. As a kid, when you're told you're smart all the time, you're used to being smart. You're used to knowing how to do everything. So that moment where you don't do something right, or you can't figure out how to do something, it's like a dagger Like, what do you mean I can't?
You can't let that, but you can't let that dent your armor though. You just got to take that and keep going.
It's a weird condition. It's like people think that, well, I've always been told I'm smart. I can't figure this out, so clearly something is wrong.
Right.
I can't ask for help.
Right.
I have to prove that I'm still that smart person, and they think that asking for that help is showing that, well, maybe you're not as smart as you thought, but it's smarter to be the person to say, like, I don't know this. Like, how the fuck you gonna learn anything by thinking you know everything already? So,
Exactly. You can't. And I kind of get the short end of, or not get those comments sometimes where people say, "Oh, well, you think you know everything." No, I don't. I really don't. I don't. I'll be the first to tell you, I don't know everything. But that doesn't mean that that I'm dumb either. If that makes sense.
Everything. That's why they say that shit, because they know they don't know as much. It's a projection.
Yes.
Like, fuck, I didn't know that. I'm sick of you trying to tell me what I didn't know. I feel like I should have knew that already. So I'm gonna just be like, look, you don't know everything, so stop trying to teach me shit. People just don't be wanting to know. It's a dagger to their ego. So they get mad.
That ego, in the end, that ego shit's gonna be your downfall. Really, if you really think about it, that ego shit is gonna be your downfall, because you could be given the biggest opportunity of your life, right? You could be given the biggest in whatever you want, in whatever field you're in. You could be given the biggest opportunity you want. But if something is not right, and it's not as perfect as you pictured it, and then you let your ego say, "Nah, it's supposed to be like this," and then that factor determines that factor right there determines whether you still get that opportunity or not, because of your ego, because you decided to say, "No, this is going to be this perfect, and it needs to be this perfect, and I'm not settling for anything less." But you have to realize that not everything is going to be as you pictured it. You can't. Not everything is going to go your way. Everybody needs to realize that before. And this is just in life, period. Not everything is going to go your way. You're not, sometimes do we get our happy endings? Absolutely. Everybody does, I think. I think everybody gets that. There's been times, I bet you've had those times in your life where you're like, damn, that worked out great. That worked out exactly the way I wanted it to, and now I'm happy. Like, yes. But then there's been times where you're like, that went completely left. I did not expect it to go that way. I don't know what to do now. In those instances, you have to be like, wow, okay, well, next time I try this, I know what not to do, and I'm gonna learn from my mistakes, and I'm gonna keep moving. This shouldn't hurt me like I let other things hurt me. Like, you got to keep going. You got to keep moving.
Yeah, it's one of the things where it's like, it's funny. It's like that with people too. Like, not even the situations that come around, people that come around. You know, one thing that I ain't gonna say it irks my soul, because I feel like that's a very strong way.
That is a very strong thing. It bothers you. Let's say that it bothers.
Because I know that not everyone is gonna realize things at the time that you realize it.
Yep.
You gotta give people time to realize or learn an idea or whatever, or perspective or whatever before, or you have to let them learn it at their time, right? This whole idea of like dating to marry.
Interesting. Why? What? Let's open that can of worms. I'm interested. I'm pulling up the seat. What are we? Whoa! What are we? Where are we going with this?
And it's funny. It's a huge thing. I know you see it on Twitter all the time.
Yes.
I don't want anyone who's not dating to marry. It's like, that's kind of, you set yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
You set yourself up for the simple fact that, like, it's common knowledge and kind of common sense to know that not everyone that you date is going to be the person that you marry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's okay to date with a purpose.
Yes.
If you're going to date with a purpose, cool. But when you say I'm dating to marry, and then something goes wrong, or the person that you're not supposed to marry is the person you're dealing with, and stuff falls apart. It's like now you're super fucked up about it when you wasn't supposed to marry that person anyway. Like, every relationship in our lives is there for a reason. Not everything is for us to be committed to the person. Not everything is for us to be with the person for a long period of time.
Facts.
We experience certain things with certain people. We learn certain things from certain people. We heal with people.
You also have to think of the unpredictability factor in that. Anything could happen. You may think that you're going to be there with this person. You could be with someone for 12 years, and then all of a sudden something happens where the relationship is over, and now you're like, what the I was with this person for 12 years. What just happened?
Exactly. Because every relationship has an expiration date.
Facts.
So, you can't say I'm dating to marry and then think it's everyone else that's a problem because y'all didn't get married. It's just like, they weren't supposed to be that for you. So understand that relationships that you get in, they're there for a purpose. The purpose might not be marriage, might be for you to learn, to heal, to grow, to experience, whatever. I feel like if people look at it from that perspective, it wouldn't sting so much. Not that you can't be hurt, because that's normal, but don't look at it like you failed or something's wrong with you or something's wrong with that person. Now, of course, unless they did some bullshit to you, but if it just did not work, like, don't chalk it up to, like, I can't find anyone that wants to marry me. Like,
that's not what this is about.
Is for that. Exactly. That's not even what life is about. Like, you got things to learn, you got shit to do, and these people are helping you. Look at it that way, and you'll come across the person who you're supposed to marry.
Yeah, exactly. But
let it ring out.
Exactly, because it happens when you least expect it. And I can't emphasize that phrase enough. When you least expect it. Literally. You won't be thinking about it. And it'll be completely out of your mind. And then all of a sudden, bam, it's right in front of you.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens.
It's one of those situations where it's like, people put so much focus on a certain idea. They idealize people. They fall in love with what the person could be. They fall in love with the relationship could be. They don't allow themselves to fall in love with what is. So when they fall in love with this idea of what they created in their mind, you're automatically going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Because it's like, who said that was the real in the first place? You thought of this.
And see,
this in your head.
and those types of thoughts you need to have with yourself, and if you trust somebody else to share those thoughts with, then yes. But at most, I think those types of thoughts you should keep to yourself, especially if you are in a relationship. Because, like you in
a relationship, you mean like if you with somebody?
If you're with somebody, you should. And yes, like you should. If you're in a relationship, you should keep you should keep most of your doubts of that relationship, because everybody has doubts about it. Everybody has doubts. As soon as they get into a relationship, everything could be going good, but also you have to keep asking people kind of repeatedly ask themselves, do you see yourself being long term with this person? You always see that, but nobody. Those doubts, I wouldn't say those are doubts. Those are just, different thoughts. Those different thoughts that you have, I think you should keep to yourself and let someone, and let you have that conversation with yourself, if you still want to be in this, relationship with this person that you're with, if you're thinking that it's not going to be long term, then guess what? If you seriously keep thinking about it, then maybe it's something that you really kind of need to actually like give more thought about and give some actually proper thought about. And maybe if you want to be with this person, make sure deep down, hand on the Bible that you want to be with this person, because no one's time should be wasted.
I mean, and that also goes back to what are you using your time for?
Right.
Because that whole thing is like, I'm trying to be with somebody so I can get married. It's like, are you using your time to appreciate the experience you're getting right now? Because, if you're not, fuck marriage. Like, you're already looking at it wrong.
Exactly.
You're
like,
looking at it from a flawed perspective.
you have to be happy with yourself first before you do anything. Before you decide to let anybody, in your life, you have to make sure that you're happy with the person that you're projecting to these people that you want in your life. I want to be able to be happy with myself, so that way when I go hang out with my friends, I know that what they are seeing is the best version of me and not anything less. Because if it's not, something's going on. You should be, it's the simple, the simple, basically, belief of practice what you preach. You know what I'm saying? If a girl talks about how, spiritual she is or how in tune she is, she can tweet that all day. But then if you go to her Snapchat and she's like posting thirst traps and posting screenshots of, some fuck shit that, her ex did, then what are we doing here? I'm watching two different things here. Because I see this and then I see this.
Gotta pause you a little bit.
Oh boy, here we go.
I agree with you except for the thirst trap part.
Okay. No. Now, thirst traps with self-intent, not personal intent, if that makes sense. Self-intent meaning I'm posting this for myself. I'm posting this because I know I look good and I'm just going to, boom, I just want to post it. I just want to put it out there. Listen, and don't get me wrong. If you're listening to this and you want to, take some nice photos of yourself looking good, post them. Do it. If it makes you feel good inside that you wanted to share that and you wanted to let people know, damn, I look good, do it. Absolutely. I'm 100% for that. But if you are posting stuff and saying and tweeting stuff to get a reaction out of somebody without indirectly speaking to them, you are once again looking at it all wrong. You're looking at a lot of things wrong because you shouldn't have to be pettiness. You shouldn't be petty. You should be able to, if you have an issue with somebody, you should be able to, have the pride and muster up some guts to go to that person directly and say, and speak your piece and say, listen, I don't like how our relationship ended. I think we need to speak about this so we can give some closure. Now, I know that's not hard. I know that's hard for some people to do because of pride and ego and everything else. But if we're looking at this from a logical standpoint and we're separating from right and wrong, the right thing to do, in my eyes, this is again, in my eyes, this is my perception, this is my opinion. The right thing to do, if you have a problem with somebody, go speak to that person indirectly. Don't send out, tweets that are subs, that are sending shots. If I have a personal issue with somebody, I don't want to do that. I don't want to blast it on the internet, which I don't understand why that's become a thing now. Why everybody's business is up in the public. I don't want to read J. Cole, I'm saying this as a pure example. I am saying this as a pure example. I'm not saying this is a rumor or anything. This is just a pure example. I don't want to see J. him and his wife got a divorce. That's not my business. That's none of my business. I should not have to open my phone and have that sort of information so easily accessible. I shouldn't have that. I should not be able to hear that Kanye and Kim there's pictures of them arguing that's not hip hop. That's not the culture. That's a personal issue. That's real people having real life problems. and I should not be reading this because I don't know them personally. So therefore, this is none of my business. Right. And that's what I'm saying about the level of pettiness. Like, I don't think, like, I see this all the time. I see it especially with, like, younger people. Like, you'll know if somebody got broken up with by how they're posting. Think about that. Think right now in 2020, you can tell if you have a personal friend, you can tell something's going on with somebody by the way that they post. If a girl and this is again, this is just my perception, this is just my opinion. If a girl breaks up with her boyfriend, you can tell by how she's tweeting. You can tell by how she's posting. I'm a very observant person. That's let me get that out the way. I'm a very observant person. I think you are as well. So you can tell by, like, I'm gonna just use you for an example. Like, if you were going through something, like if you were going through a breakup or something like that, and you start, posting more photos than usual, like a little more, like, dang, I ain't never seen Bria post a picture like that. What's going on over there? Or, dang, that's a depressing ass tweet. What's going on with Bria over there? You can tell by how somebody posts on social media whether they're going through something or not. Mm-hmm. Whether it's lack of post or the excessive increase in posts. You know what I'm saying? So, when it comes to, like, like the level of, pettiness and all of that, like, I think people just kind of need to kind of watch what they say, because you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. We're talking about, finding people, and, people are dating to marry and all that other stuff. If you're sitting over here, tweeting, bashing your ex on Twitter, like sending tweets, a dude could immediately see that and find you unattractive right off the rip. Because it's somebody would be like, that's messy. I don't like that. And I'm not attracted to you anymore. Boom. Or, you can meet, and I've been through this, you can meet somebody, the personality up front, first time meeting them could be great. They could look great. They could check all your boxes. And then when you kind of get a little bit of deeper peek into who they are, and you realize that, that's a big red flag. That's a huge red flag. And then more red flags come after that, and then you realize that you don't want to associate yourself with this person. And then your guy friends will be like, yo, like, she's fine, or da-da-da-da-da. And then you realize, like, as me, you realize, oh, yeah, she's fine, but her personality, though, is not where it's at. You have to know the perception. You have to know what you're projecting to people. You have to have some sort of transparency. You can't say, you can't be this person in front of other people and then be another person in front of another group of people. You have to be, I think you should, in my thing, you should be able to live, your life as one true person in all different types, in all situations.
Yeah, I can agree to that. I think that, I agree with the fact that it's like, you have to be careful what you say.
Yes.
Because, at the end of the day, it's like you don't want to say too much. Now, I also agree with social media being a place to vent, because some people don't have that.
Yes. Okay.
Vent, I think that's cool. It's like, just think about it. There's people that are like at home living rough ass lives, depressed, fucked up, and they look at social media or they look at the internet as an outlet. And a lot of people see something wrong with that. I don't. People cope in different ways. It's like me looking at someone who's addicted to drugs or they smoke weed or something and saying, well, this is how I cope. Everyone has a vice, so I don't judge in that way. I do think just be careful how you go about doing it. I'm not into into the whole bashing people thing on social media. Like,
same.
now if you come for me and you say some dumb shit, like I'm gonna say what I gotta say to you. But
Yeah.
I'm never gonna be somebody that's gonna go on social media and just be saying a bunch of stuff. Now I might vent about how I'm feeling at the moment. I might not put a name to it. I might not be specific about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I might say a little how I feel. If you don't like what I'm saying, cool. Don't look at it. Like, but of course, again, there is a situation where you got to be careful. Plus, that delete button on Twitter is great. You know,
Facts.
If that's what you got to do, tweet and delete. Like, fuck it. Like, do whatever you feel like got to make you feel good, but don't be out here just bashing and being crazy with
Toxic. Toxic is the word. That toxic has been the word of 2020. Don't be.
Toxic comes in so many different forms, and people still have not realized it yet.
Now, I always love talking relationships and just basically human interaction, basically on this podcast, because there's so many. It's such a vast. It's such a vast like topic that you can just dive in and talk certain things. But the one thing I do want to talk about is like we talked about how social media has definitely affected. I think social media definitely ruins people's lives, actually. And I'm going to tell you why, because there's cancel culture. There's if anybody sees a 10-minute clip of something and they don't like it, and then they convince other people not to like it, then you'll be done. Case in point, when the entanglement stuff came about, I was baffled. I was very baffled. I was very confused because, and I'm glad that you, knowing you, are here so we can actually talk about this, because I actually want to have a somewhat of a back and forth debate about this, because I need to get a woman's perspective on this. She said entanglement, right? That's what she said. Is that, now this is just a simple question, is that another word for cheating? Was she saying that to make it sound like it wasn't bad? Was that her cushioning word? Was that her suppressive word to use to make it seem like it wasn't as bad as it was?
I don't know, because if it was a situation where Will and Jada had an open marriage, yes, and he said Rock Out gave her the green light, then it's not cheating.
Yes.
But if she did not have that go, then yes, cheating.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And what is your definition of cheating?
Anything that you wouldn't do in front of your partner.
Okay. So a person can not have sex with another person. Okay, a person who is in a relationship cannot have sex with another person, mm-hmm, and it still be cheating.
Yeah, cheating is not just I fuck someone. Cheating is stepping out in some way, doing something to deceive your partner, doing something to,
What is the minimum
relationship in jeopardy?
Okay, give me an example. What do you think is the most minimal example of cheating?
The most minimal that I can think of off the top of my head?
Yes. And
having certain conversations you wouldn't have, that you wouldn't repeat back to your partner.
Okay.
That's the quickest thing I can think of. If I wouldn't tell my partner that I had this conversation, I shouldn't be having it.
Okay, but that's not necessarily cheating,
That's a
though.
Cheating.
What? Wait. Okay. So, you mean to tell me, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you were in a relationship, every conversation that you would have with the opposite sex, you would have to ask yourself, would I tell my significant other about this conversation?
I don't ask myself them kind of questions, because someone who would just be willy-nilly having these weird, wild-ass conversations with people. Um, but if I know I wouldn't, like, if I wouldn't say this to them, I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
Like, if I know this sounds away or this looks away, or if I would be upset if they were saying this shit to somebody else, I'm not gonna do it. When I say cheating, I feel like cheating is looked at as just being involved sexually with someone.
It's being involved emotionally with someone else.
I feel like if you're putting the relationship in jeopardy to give each other issues and it has something to do with somebody, I would call that a cheat. It's very mild, but you're fucking up right now.
Yeah, you're dropping down points. You're losing points here.
Yeah, it's like there's levels to you fucking up. So it's if we don't want to use the word cheat, we can say you are fucking the relationship. You're doing things you know you should not do.
Facts.
You're doing it anyway. So yes, you're fucking things up. If you want to just say cheating is, fucking someone.
Yeah.
Being emotionally connected to an extent, because you can still have some sort of emotional connection with someone and it's not a cheat because your partner can't give you everything all the time.
Well, okay.
So you have relationships with other people.
Like say this, and that's where I want to bring this into this, and I'm going to ask you this. That's a great segue. Can a male who's in a relationship be friends with a female who's also in a relationship?
I think so. I mean, I have people I'm friends with, and we don't get into no bullshit. We don't talk about, like, I'm quick to be like, we're not gonna have this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna answer that question. I'm not talking about that. If they keep doing the shit, conversations between me and that person are over.
Yeah.
So I think it's possible, but it's niggas and these bitches that don't got self-control and don't know how to be respectful of the person that they're with that fucks it up for people who really can just be platonic.
Yes.
And now some people will say, if they'll let you fuck, that's not your friend. It's like, I look at that a little differently because it's like, mad people would fuck mad other people.
Facts.
Facts. Especially if you're an attractive person, 99% of people, not even just men, girls too, will get some shit with you. So
yeah.
It's like, no, it's a respect thing. It's like, I know what you got going on, and at a certain point, I might not even feel that way about you. Like, there's people that I used to deal with that I'm cool with now, and I don't even look at them the same way I used to. I would never fuck with them in that way ever again in my life. Even if I wasn't with the nigga I'm with now, I would not fuck with them. So it's very situational.
It is, because I have, as a person who has a nice size, a nice number of female friends, they're all platonic because I have nothing to hide. And to make that clear to the person I'm in a relationship with now comes with a certain level of understanding that is a plus for me, because they realize, okay, they're friends, but who's he coming back to for emotional support? Who's he gonna come back to for affection and all the other things that come with a relationship that you can't get from a relationship that mean more, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, me and Bree, that's homies. We homies.
Right.
That's it. Nothing else to it. Draw a line underneath it. But she's not gonna run to me first. She's gonna run to her significant other first. Just like I'm not gonna run to her first when something fucks up. Whether I'm running to my significant other first.
Right.
The support is there. The support is there. It's just not brought to the forefront. It's not a factor. It has nothing to do with anything. You know what I'm saying? And if people can learn how to separate that, then I think a lot of relationships and a lot of breakups and well, just relationships in general would last longer because there's a jealousy factor.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some people in relationships that will give you reasons to feel skeptical about relationships. I can understand that.
Yes.
But if the person hasn't given you a reason to feel like something's wrong, don't look at every person they talk to as
a threat.
Someone who's trying to, like, it ain't even like that sometimes. Now, I ain't saying don't pay attention.
Facts.
Because I pay attention.
Just pay attention with a very loose vision on it.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not going to make every woman you talk to an issue. Like, I'm not going to confront you about every girl you speak to. Like, that's annoying, first off. That leads to way too many arguments, and that's one thing I hate. I don't like arguing. If you can't get your point across to me without talking to me and without getting aggressive,
yeah,
your point is not really a point to me at that moment.
Facts.
Because it's like,
Facts.
if you gotta yell about it, you gotta muscle up on me and shit. Like, you don't really have you added shit to it.
Now you're just being extra, and that's what we're not gonna do.
Like, you're trying to deflect right now, like, from what your actual point is. So I don't get into that argument shit. If you acting an ass, I'm gonna walk away from you. I'm gonna give you a second. Don't come back to me if you still acting stupid. Then we can talk about it. So some things are just gonna make too many issues. Now, again, like I said, if that person has given you a reason to feel like you have to be skeptical because of things they've done in the past, I can't really say much.
Facts.
I can understand that more.
Facts.
You know, but if it's that kind of situation, don't make shit hard for you and him.
Facts.
Or you and her.
Facts.
Because of, insecurities. And if you have insecurities, communicate that with your partner. And, tell them sometimes I might need reassurance. We're human. Some people need that sometimes. Like,
you gotta let that be known. You don't be afraid to say that either. Don't be afraid to say that you need reassurance because you don't want to. You're afraid of being annoying or being no. If you need to know at some time that the person that you're with is still interested and still wants to be with you, that you should not be afraid to ask that question. You should be able to be like...
It's sad. People make people feel like they should not be vocal about insecurities or insecurities are unattractive. And it's like, to an extent, how you act on those insecurities, yes, it can be unattractive or can cause problems, but don't make it seem like when they're communicating what they've been through with you and their soft spots as a problem. And then you wonder why they don't want to say nothing to you because, like, they don't feel safe enough to have a conversation with you. And it's your job as their partner to make that safe space for them.
Yep.
And when you don't do that, you fucking up. And you can't get mad at them.
Facts.
For them feeling like they can't be like that with you. That's on you.
Facts. That's facts. I mean, listen, these are the type of conversations me and Bree have. We have very educational. We have debates. We talk about astrology. We talk about life. It's fantastic. Get your friend like Bree, people. Get your friend like Bree, where you can have spiritual conversations, and she won't look at you stupid. She'll tell you why you're being stupid, and then be like, "Fam, listen, this is you're wrong about that. This is what you need to be on." And then you'll be like, "Oh, okay, you're right," and then move on to the next thing. So, quick before we end this, who are you listening to right now? What's on the Bree aux cord as of right now?
I listen to so many different styles of music, all different kinds of people. Kendrick is always going to be on aux cord. He's my favorite rapper.
Okay, let's start. We can start there. What do you think is the best Kendrick album? Period.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
Okay. Because of not only the message behind it, but the production behind it. What makes you give you?
Yeah, the message, the production, the passion. That's what I think sets him apart from J. Cole. I love J. Cole.
Yeah.
J. Cole is great. He's not intense enough for me though. For me, he's not.
Do you like that intensity though? You like that intensity?
Yeah,
You like that?
That's what. Yeah, that's what makes me like. Cause when I communicate things and I know what I'm talking about and I'm sure about what I'm saying, I get that way.
Okay.
I'm very passionate in how I communicate certain things when I believe it wholeheartedly.
Like you get excited about it because you're so passionate about it.
Exactly.
That's me too. That's me too.
He's just too like chill. Like, do you yell? Like, do you ever like?
You don't think J. Cole gets angry?
He just don't show enough passion. Not the way Kendrick does. It's like it's not enough.
Like, okay, like you've okay, let me ask you this. Like you've heard angry Kendrick. You've heard sad Kendrick. You've heard happy Kendrick. You've heard mellow Kendrick. You've heard determined Kendrick. You've seen all these facial, these metaphorical emotions in his music.
Yeah.
You feel like you've only heard like 1 to 2 emotions from Cole?
Yeah, it's like I don't want to say he's one dimensional, but I don't think that completely.
I don't think Cole's one dimensional.
Yeah, it's like I don't think that completely. It's just not. It's not enough for me. I need more from him. I feel like I'm always looking for more from him. I think Kendrick always exceeds what I was looking for. So
which doesn't, you know, which is part of why I don't get mad when I don't get a Kendrick album for 3 years. I don't get mad when I don't get a Cole album for 2. Because I know it's going to sound good. I know that everything that they're thinking at that moment, every single emotion is going to be poured into the music. I don't want Kendrick to release albums every week. That would just deflate everything that he's about. He's a quality over quantity kind of person. And I see, and there's still stuff on Damn that I'm still catching till this day. There's still stuff that there's still stuff on Good Kid, Mad City I'm getting to. I was listening to She Needs Me off of the Overly Dedicated, and that kind of hits me in the chest a little bit because I heard it with the mind that I have now. I heard it a long time ago, but I was in a different headspace. I heard it with the mind I have now, and I'm like, wow, this song. Have you ever had that happen to you where you listen to a song and then you went and revisit it with a different kind of mindset and different perception, and it makes you look at it differently?
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, Kendrick does that to me all the time. It's like before, when it came out, I understood a lot of what he was saying. But as time goes on and you learn more in general, go through a little more, like, you start to just catch other things because perspectives change.
Yep.
So, yeah, he did it to me a lot. Like, recently that happened to me where, I don't remember what song it was, but I didn't realize what he was saying was more than what I thought he said the first time.
Facts, that happens.
So, yeah, or that happens in battle rap all the time.
Facts.
I don't catch that. Like, I watch battles over and over, like, wow, I didn't realize that's how he set it up, or I didn't realize it had another meaning to it. Like,
that's why I can watch battle rap like I can watch TV, because I'm always gonna catch something. Whether I've seen the battle 6 or 7 times, I'm always gonna catch something good. Like I showed my girlfriend last night Jerry West's Rounds versus Glue Easy, and there was a couple of you can get the steal off a bump like a pickpocket. I was like, what? Oh my! And then I remember just listening. Like when I heard the Double Eggs bar, I don't know if you know the bar that I'm talking about.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not been watching anything.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. So you don't even know about Ultimate Madness?
You know what? I meant to watch it and I didn't. I'm just being honest. Like,
yo, you been out the loop, dog?
I've been out the loop.
Yikes.
Out the loop.
Yikes. You need to get back in the
I'm
loop.
trying to get back in the
You
loop.
got
It's
to.
just
No,
not
you
the
have to
same.
now because it's about to get super interesting right now. It's about to get crazy because Daylight and Tay-Rock happened at Nome, and that's one of the best battles. And that's one of the best. That's the best Tay-Rock, and that's almost damn near the best Daylight we've seen in a minute. When Daylight and Tay-Rock happened, a match that a battle that you didn't think would make sense. Because at first when I saw it, I was like, this makes zero sense. Daylight is gonna beat Tay-Rock clear as day. But when I tell you that Tay-Rock stepped up his pin to damn near almost reach the level that Daylight is on, like the best punchlines, the best written bars Tay-Rock has ever given. And it's the battle of the year. It's that good. It's that good. I'm talking small room. The fact that they're doing these small rooms now with the quarantine and there's no crowds and stuff, I'm telling you, Bree, people look a lot different right now. People look a lot different. Like
looking bad because of no crowd.
Let's see. If we're gonna be honest, like, and I like, and I'm a big Rum fan, I really am, but he got smoked by B-Dot. B-Dot battled Rum Nitty on the roof, and it got crazy. And he said, "Steady, are you ready?" You know, it only means I can open up with a belly shot, like that was it was nasty. Like, and then he said something. He had it even though he didn't know he had it, and he said, "What I have, asymptomatic." Like, come on, man. Like, and B-Dot versus Saga is something that I think everybody needs to watch, especially when it got released right after the Breonna Taylor situations and the George Floyd. Like, that battle right there will be etched in stone because it was released at the right time and it happened, and a lot of things that were said in that battle needed to be said. Saga dedicated his whole part of his third round to talk about what was going on. He flipped the clean paper, stop watching Smack to stop killing blacks kind of thing, which I thought was amazing. B-Dot's pen, like, you get to hear how B-Dot raps, like, with no crowd. He doesn't say, I mean, I see the Lux comparisons and I get it, but B-Dot's different. B-Dot's way different. I'm talking, the pen is way different. The layer of the bar, like, it's different. It's really, really different. You have Saga going on the run of his life. You know, he battled on the if you look on the app, depending on how much you haven't missed, he battled Rum Nitty. And did well. He battled Cortez in a quarantine sterilized battle where it was no crowd and everything. Like, there's a lot of Chess battled B Magic randomly, and B Magic gave us the glimpse of the old Magic, the old B Magic, the in a bit, like.
Yeah, because I heard he was going out bad a little bit for a while.
And B Magic battled Chess, and B Magic battled Geechee. B Magic battled Jerry West. I think he lost to Jerry West a little bit, and then I think he lost to Geechee. But when he battled Chess, it was like watching the B Magic that battled Conceited. It was like watching that, and that B Magic was. I mean, Reggie at the door and put a 40 in his face. Like, come on, bro.
Who do you think won that battle?
Between who? B Magic.
It's
B Magic punched Conceited's face off. Like, okay, because the way I look at battles is like, who had better bars? I'm not talking like the performance. Like, I only count so much for performance. I lean more towards who had better bars, and I think B Magic had better bars than Conceited. So I think his material was better. So I think B Magic won. B-Dot just had better bars than Rum Nitty.
That's wild to like hear, because I look at Nitty as somebody who's just never funny.
Like, well, exactly. Okay, well, okay, but the thing is that Rum Nitty didn't die either.
Right.
He didn't die. It was a win. It was a win. It was a gentleman's clear win for B Dot because he just rapped better.
I don't want to make it seem like I'm surprised that B Dot won because I mean it's B Dot. Like I don't look at B Dot like he's like an amateur or something. Like it's never
B Dot battled Verb, man, and stood there and hung in there, like against Verb, a focused Verb, a very dangerous Verb.
I wish I liked Verb as much as people do. I just don't like him as much as others.
He battled Geechee on Gnome as well. The same night Daylight battled Tay-Rock, and him and Geechee had 2 weeks prep and had a great battle.
That's wild. Can't give 2 weeks prep to all these niggas.
Yeah, for real. And then Loaded Lux and Sue Surf happened, and it was a disappointment.
Why? Somebody choked?
Surf kept saying that the echo in the mic was fucking up and all this other stuff, and like I felt, and he was messy. You know, I guess he jerseyed out of 2 of his rounds, and I was disappointed.
I mean, I knew you were gonna say Surf. Like I knew Surf was going to be.
Oh my God! The wave is gonna come. The wave's gonna come for you, man. He's gonna come for you now. He's gonna come for you.
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. I don't look. I don't care about any of that. Like, I'm just not surprised. I'm not saying he's trash. I don't think Surf is trash. I mean, I'm not surprised he's the reason why.
Well, because he was on camera talking about 40 Bars, saying that when he telling 40 Bars that when she battles when it's under pressure, she does bad when 40 battles under pressure. But then it looks bad now. That video did not age well because right after that Surf battles Lux and then that happens. So it was kind of, when I watched that, like okay, so it went the Ultimate Madness finals was Fonz and Jada Nightwing. Fonz ended up winning the 25K and moving and winning the tournament.
I heard about that.
Saga versus Mike P. Saga choked 2 rounds. He was choking majority of his rounds. And then Daylight or Geechee and Averb happened. Great battle, great back and forth. Verb's first, I think, was really well. Daylight and Tay-Rock was the battle of the night. It was amazing. It was well written. It was anything that you could ask for. We got Daylight to rap with no antics. And then what's crazy is Tay-Rock brought an antic, dressing up as quote unquote Dracula in a suit with the contact.
I saw that. I was very confused.
And he was that he was in a different bag. He was in a complete. I'm talking wordplay. I'm talking just the pen was stepped up immensely in that battle. And then you get to Lux and Surf, and it was just like it sucked all the energy out of the room.
It just didn't go well.
No, it didn't go well. And then they're bringing back band battles. Shout out to Young Grizz and Stewie Newton for having the first band battle on the West Coast. Yeah. Young Grizz I'm a big supporter of his, and he's a big supporter of mine. He's actually a good friend of mine. Stewie, who battled in Dallas, right up the street from me. He battled Prep.
Isn't there another Stewie, isn't it?
No.
Or somebody I get mixed up with somebody. I don't know why.
Stewie Newton.
Stewie battled Ryder, right?
Yes. He battled Ryder.
I hated that battle.
Why did you hate that battle? Talk to me. Why?
Okay.
It was.
I just thought it was very lackluster. It was
Okay.
Wow. I was like, wow. I'm completely.
Did you see the
Never hearing Stewie again.
Did you see Rada's second versus Mike P?
All right.
We're not gonna get into it. I don't want to get into it because that's none of my business, and I don't even want to talk about that. But I just want to ask if you saw it.
I did.
Okay.
I did see it.
Is he wrong? Yes or no?
with Shorty. There's some issues there.
Yeah.
Now, if he did it and Mikey was not dealing with Shorty, not as many issues. You can still rightfully bring up an issue.
Yeah.
But it's not as much of an issue. You can be like, yo, don't talk about.
Yeah.
You can have that energy.
Yes.
As a man.
Yes.
Okay, you can have that energy.
Facts.
But you can't really be that mad if it happened when you wasn't even dealing with her. Like, and plus, I know Ryder probably felt good about that shit because niggas was on Ryder talking about.
Hey, the silk made him do it, is what he said at the end of his round. The silk made him do it.
That shit was ugly. It was ugly.
But it's funny because we're speaking about karma and battle rap. You know, Surf talking to 40 Bars about, you know, what she does. We have Mike P in his second with Danny Myers. Remember when he battled Danny Myers the second round, how impactful that was. And we see how it comes around when Rada does it to Mike P. And I think...
But was it the same idea? Like...
Okay, Mike P... All right, so basically what we're talking about here is... this is where I kind of, you know, disagree with the culture because I don't think personals are a good place for the battle culture. I'm a person of bars who likes to hear what I don't care what, you know, what's going on in someone else's personal life if it gets brought up in a battle. I think it's whack. I think it's, you know, cheating, I guess, to win a battle, and that's for clout. I'm not really with that. But basically, just to break it down to somebody who is interested in what's going on, Mike P battled Danny Myers on an app event, right? And in Mike P's second round, he basically did a giant comparison between Danny's battling and Danny's wife's dealing with drugs. She had there was issues right there. And every bar that he had, you know, he said, while she's shaking from withdrawals, you're out here screaming, you too cold. Like everything was parallel. Everything was a double entendre. It was well written. It was well written. If we're take the personals out of it, it was well written and well structured. It was well put together.
So.
And then you go to Rada, right? Rada brings up that Mike P's current girlfriend, wife, whatever that title is, that there wasn't a relationship. They knew each other, and Rada exposed that because Rada exposed that. I don't know why. I don't know if there was any tension. I never thought that there was any tension between Rada. I actually predicted this, because I had a feeling that it was getting brought up, because if you look at any of Rada's battles, you'll see Mike P's girlfriend supporting them. They must have been friends. I don't know, but he brought that relationship that he had with her to the light. I don't think do I think it's wrong? Yes. But I do, again, I'll say the same thing I said for Mike P. I'll keep the same energy that I had for Mike P. It was well written. It was well put together. It wasn't as structured as Mike P's was second for Danny was, but it was as effective. It was very effective if we're talking in the lines of battle rap. It was very effective to what Rada did against Mike P, and it's just a very interesting of how things work, because it's like Mike P got real personal with Danny, and then in his second round, but now Rada's getting personal with Mike P in his second round, and it's just and I just think it's just karma. I just think it's just karma.
No, because I feel like I've seen both rounds. I feel like each of them had a different purpose. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Ryan, I don't know how to explain what he was doing. Like, I feel like Mike P was questioning Danny's like manhood.
Yes.
As a husband or whatever, how are you letting your wife go through this? Like, while you're
battling and doing all, yes.
Right.
it was well put to, everything made sense. Like even at the ending with the haymaker of you don't believe in the parallel universe, Danny. You're in one. It was well done. Well done.
The difference to me. It's like I feel like Mike was doing it to come at Danny, but I feel like Ryder did that whole thing for himself.
Yeah, yes, I believe that.
I think it's a little different. I prefer Mike P. Brown.
I prefer Mike P's round too, but I do think they are almost as equally effective as they are. Like Rada's second round, whether how personal it was effective. It worked, okay? Even though Rada ended up losing the battle due to some controversy, people say he got robbed. I think he got I have to see the full battle to be the judge of that. But I think that you can't win a battle off one round. You can't win a battle off one round. I'm sorry. I don't care if you spit. Bree, you could spit me the greatest first round I have ever heard in my life. You better have 2 more rounds that sound exactly like that. Or unless you are losing the battle. Simple enough. People say
you can't have one good round and win unless the other person's rounds are just trash.
Yes, but same thing, which is why I think Verb beat Twerk. You can't win off of one round.
I don't know if I want to have this conversation.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so you mean to tell me Twerk's second round was better than Verb's second? We all know the third. We all get it. We get it. We get the third was monumental. We get the third was insane. We get the hoodie down. We get it. He got the round clearly. But what about those other two?
When Twerk fucked up.
First round was he fucked up in the first round.
First round, right. I'm gonna just be honest with you, like this is why better is so subjective. I just did not like everyone feels Verb. I don't always feel that nigga. Like I do not.
His battle versus DNA when he says, I remind him of the people he couldn't sit round. That was hard to me because he was talking to DNA. He was talking specifically to DNA. It wasn't a general bar. It wasn't like some like McDonald's fries or something like that. Like it wasn't like it was a bar that was directed specifically to DNA. And that first round, Averb's first round versus DNA, I thought was great. I thought was amazing. And you know what I'm saying? Like when Verb, I just think Verb got him those first 2 rounds. And then that third round happened and everybody's like, oh, he smoked Verb. The third round was crazy. He pulled the hoodie down. Twerk win. You can't win off one round. You gotta have a moment in every single battle to where it tells me as a viewer that you won that battle 3-0 because your rounds had crazy material.
I don't think Verb got smoked.
Okay. All right.
I just don't. I still edged it to Twerk. I don't.
Okay.
I didn't think that what he was saying was all that girly. And maybe that comes from me just not, how I said earlier, there's certain battle rappers that I know are good. I don't feel you though. Like I'm not feeling you.
Like people like, and I'm just I've made this. People always say like, oh, like you know you like everybody and you're a fan of everyone. I'm like people who I know are good but don't do anything for me are the preps. Are the
I think Prep is ass.
Oh, don't do that. Hold on. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I've seen him battle and what did he battle? Jack Boy, I think?
He battled Prophet.
He battled Jack Boy in Philly, right? That's what he battled.
No, he battled
Yeah.
Prophet in Philly. Dre Dennis battled Jack Boy in Philly.
Right. Ooh, wait, I don't even know who Prophet is. That's wild. That's the light skinned dude.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. It's coming back to me now. Right. So, I remember Prince Brown, and he's like I've never been impressed by Prep. Never.
That's the same thing, and it's no disrespect to Prep. I'm just saying, like, I don't see what everybody else sees in Prep. That's just my personal opinion.
I hear many good things about Prep. That's not me talking shit. I really never really hear much good things about Prep.
He had a 2-on-2 that was a last minute impromptu with Twerk against Chef Trez and A Ward. That was really good. That I was really impressed.
I did see part of that.
I was very impressed with what he did with what he did with Twerk, and it actually wants me. I want everybody in battle rap to win, right? I'm not saying that there's certain people in there that shouldn't be in there and da. But there's just it's just like rappers. Like, certain people's music just doesn't do it for me. And that's the same way I look at Prep. Like, Prep just doesn't do it for me. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm kind of sitting there like wondering, you know, like Don Marino was another one. Don Marino just doesn't do it. Do I think he's talented? Yes, absolutely. Where he's at right now, he definitely deserves to be where he's at right now with the hard work that he put in. You know, he had a good battle with Geechee. He had a good battle with B Magic. He had a great performance against Pass. He did good. I thought he did good versus Easy to Block Captain, but Easy to Block Captain was just better in the tournament. But Don definitely deserves, with all the hard work he's put in the position that he's in, he deserves that. But it's just his style is just not for me, and I don't think that someone should get offended by that, because that's just not what I gravitate towards. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Someone should.
It's just for me.
Yeah, it's just not for me.
It's not even that kind of situation. I look at Prep and say, I never want to watch your battle.
Oh my God.
I feel bad, so I'm not trying to talk shit. It's just I really don't think you're good. Like, when I heard Prep and A Ward versus Trez and Twerk, I said, wow.
You just completely messed up that whole. It was actually Prep and Twerk versus Trez and A Ward.
Prep and Twerk. Oh, see, I can't even. You're right. Because when I saw it, I don't remember Prep and A Ward standing next to each other.
No, I said.
No, you said. Okay, right. Anyway, I thought, okay, so basically, Prep is about to get carried.
But he didn't. But he didn't though.
But he from what I saw, I didn't see the whole thing. I saw some of it. It was pretty cool. But I was never excited to see Prep on the card. I was excited for the other names.
Exactly, and that just comes down to literal preference. That comes down to literal preference of what you want to see as a battler. It is not a disrespect to Prep as what he does. Like, we're not saying he's not talented. He's definitely talented, because he's gotten to certain plates that, you know, apparently that he deserves because he's worked his ass off. So I'm not saying that. It's just his style is just not for me. Not his style is not for me. Like, the rebuttal, his choice of wordplay is just it's not for me. When people ask me who I don't particularly like in battles, like, it's not necessarily me bashing them and saying that they're trash. They're not trash to me. It's just they're not just for me. You know what I'm saying? Like Don Marino battled in Dallas down here. He battled against a great battler by the name of Tyler Reed, who's been putting in work down here, and, you know, has been gotten a few King of the Dot plates. And I told Don, I said, listen, this is the first time I've seen him perform like in person, and he did good. He actually did good. And I remember watching another battle before that battle was him versus Holmesy to God. And the band, like, that was a really good battle. I liked that battle. I liked what Dom was saying in that battle, and I liked what Holmesy was saying in that battle. That's one of my favorite band battles, period. So to see, I'm not saying, so when I say I don't like a certain battler, this is just me. I'm not saying that they're trash. I'm just saying that their style is not for me. It's something that I'm not running to click to see a Dom Marino battle. I'm not.
That's how I feel about Saga. That's crazy.
That's why Saga.
I know Saga is good, and I really do think that he's good.
Yes.
I like him as a musician better.
Okay, and that's fine.
But I don't really want to watch Saga. Like, when he battled Trez, I kind of hated listening to his rounds just because I didn't like
I didn't like his material versus Trez either.
So
I didn't like that battle, actually, to be completely honest with you.
Really?
Oh, because the moments that got reaction were easy ones. Like the biscuit is ready. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, I didn't like the battle as a whole.
I didn't like it either because it was just
The battle as a whole.
because on paper it sounded really good. On paper, Trez versus Saga sounds awesome. I want to see that. And then just to have that, I was just a little bit disappointed with the battle, to be honest. I feel like Trez could have done better. I feel like Saga could have done better. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've seen a better Trez and I've seen a way better Saga. So, that's just kind of how it was for me. I watched I saw bits and pieces of Holmesy the God versus Saga, which was first round for Ultimate Madness 2. Holmesy had the perfect bar for him, and it was the knockout punch. He says you stood up there. It's like knowing what it's something about knowing what's going on in the world with police brutality against blacks and everything. He's like, you stood up there and choked. He's like, you stood up there with the police and you choked. Like, I don't know the word verbatim. I wish I knew the word verbatim, but it was something along those lines of you saw this, like no one was going on, and you stood up there with the police and choked. Like, and what's crazy is Saga came with a police officer and in his third round versus Mike P, and he was talking about that. So it was like a triple. Because Mike P's last name is Polisi, and he was also, and then it was a triple entendre, and Holmesy nailed it. I wish I could find the clip and put it up here, because Quarter Lab will definitely take it down. But when Holmesy versus Saga comes out, y'all go watch. There's a police brutality, police choke bar that he had that was a triple entendre, and it was so well put together. And Saga and it's news now. Saga lost that battle, and he's not going on. So it's messed up, because I had Saga being a favorite in this tournament, and my bracket was all busted because Holmesy won. And am I wrong for doubting Holmesy? Maybe now I am, because I'm out of $2,500 now. I was gonna I didn't bet on that battle. No, let me clarify. I didn't bet on that battle. Caffeine was doing this thing where if you submitted a bracket and you got it right, you won $2,500. I had Saga beating Holmesy in my bracket, so as soon as that happened, I was done.
I mean, I like Holmesy, so that's cool that we'll probably see a lot more of Holmesy, because I feel like we don't see Holmesy.
Holmesy versus Emerson Kennedy is going to be the next this is the opening round. I think this is the quarterfinals. So the quarterfinal matchup will be Holmesy versus Emerson Kennedy, and I actually
am. His name, like Emerson, is that his birth?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, probably.
That upsets me.
Why does that upset you? You just don't like that? Emerson? Really? Leave EK alone. EK can rap, man. But But I listen, we could talk about this all day, but I just wanted to say thank you for coming on the program. I know we've talked about it in the past and been wanting to make it happen, and we finally actually did. So thank you for coming up on here and able to share one of our great conversations that we usually have, and able to display it for all of the viewers. So if you could, if you have any positive words, any advice, any words of wisdom for anybody that's listening, I'll let you close it out.
Well, first off, I appreciate you for asking me to do this because anybody that knows me a little bit knows I'm very socially awkward. So this is interesting. I like to talk, but I don't like talking is uncomfortable with like certain people or certain amounts of people. It's weird for me. So yeah, as long as it's recorded and shit, like it's very strange, but like you know what I'm saying, you gotta do some shit you don't usually do. So
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. Anything positive to say? Damn.
Wash your hands, wear your mask.
Yeah, you do that. I don't know. I feel like anything I would say right now would be cliche.
Okay, I mean, all right.
Fuck it. Like,
Just go for it.
yeah, like, fuck it. That's how I say a lot of things. When I ask the question, I ask myself, like, should I do this or that? Fuck it.
Just go for it. Bree, I appreciate you coming on. Hopefully we can have you back on in the near future. Episode 90, people. Episode 90. We are creeping towards 100. And when we get to that point, it'll get very interesting. But that's for another time. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Flight 96 podcast. I will see y'all next week.